Yes, students, your test to date is going to be a PDF only, and you're going to make a nice PDF and send it to me in the proper format, okay? In a proper way, you will rename it with your class section and roll number. And on the first page also, I want to see your name, class section written. Clear? Yeah. Okay, Krishan, I'll revise that. First, just let me tell you now here for your writing skills, what are the things that you have to focus on? It is your notice writing, okay? And letter writing. We have done letter of complaint. Yes, we discussed it that day. We have also done letter to editor. Yes. So let us discuss the letter of inquiry. What is the letter of inquiry? I'm coming to that. Let me just finish this topic, then I'll revise that point which you want to do. Okay. Yes. So what is it that we have to do over here? Yes, is it visible to you? The board is visible? Yes. Okay, fine. Now, when we do inquiry letters, what is inquiry? You seek information. Inquiry is seeking information. And this information, it can be about any product, once again, any services, right? Any course that you would like to pursue, okay? Any kind of information that you want, right? So like, of course, so about a gadget you want to buy, services here, you want a booking for a function or for a hotel, you want on a holiday, you want. So you're asking about all these things, about a course that you want to do, okay? Now, yes, you all know the format of the letter. We had discussed the earlier day also about the format here of formal letters. Now here for the letter of inquiry, what are the things that we have to discuss? First paragraph, it will be with your introduction. Here you will talk about the purpose of your writing the letter, give your introduction. You will give the purpose of writing the letter. That, yes, why is it, give about yourself, whether you're a regular customer, or yes, you want to go on a holiday, you want to organize this function. So all this information that you will give, okay, right? Next is ask, making your queries about the product, right? About the product or whatever it is that you want, your product here, your services, you want a hotel booking, you will make those queries, make relevant queries. If it is about any, like say you want some computers for your computer lab, right? Naturally, you will ask questions related to that. Yes. So you want computers for your lab, you will ask about them, right? Yes, there are so many things you have about the computers, you know, the relevant information you will see. You will ask them in the form of questions, okay? And then if you want to go on a holiday, you're asking for hotel booking and you're asking for the hotel facilities. You will ask like, yes, you will, when the date you will give, will it be available during that time? How many rooms you want, right? Any, you know, like you want transport facility, want from the airport or the railway station. Yes, you can ask about the meals, then give your days, about the duration that you want. Okay, then always, yes, you will always ask about the mode of payment. Mode of payment, how you're going to pay. Always ask if any advance has to be paid. Yes, right? And then you can also, wait, who has joined? So any advance that has to be paid, okay? And you need more information about it. You need more information here about this. It would be about, you know, you can ask for the brochure. You can ask for quotations. Naturally, if you are asking for computers for your lab, you want books for your library, you want furniture for your classrooms, so you will ask for quotations. And the, you know, like the best quotation that you get, the person who's going to give you the best service at the least price will automatically select that, will go for that. Okay, so queries is before buying anything. You seek information, like when you go to the shop, you ask the shopkeeper to show you, like you want to buy a school bag. It's not the first bag that you see, you're going to buy that. Is it? You're going to see so many things about that bag. Do you like the color of the bag? Are the zips durable? Do they have enough pockets? Do they have a pocket, like for your water bottle? And yes, is it light to carry? So many things you see or not when you buy a product. Now, this inquiry is the first step before you actually buy the product. Okay, right? And so you have to seek information. It's just like as if you're going to the shop and you're asking questions about a product. So similarly, like this, but here, because it is a letter writing, it is more formal and more precise. So if it is about a course, please give your introduction that you're a student, you've passed your 10th or 12th, or you've done your graduation, and now you want to do this course. Okay, yeah. And then, yes, ask about which course you want to do, whether it is about interior designing, or whether it is creative writing, or journalism, or French, or any other course that you would like to pursue. You will ask information about that course. You will ask about it, yes, and write about the duration, about the entrance, how do you get admission, is it on merit, or is there a test? Okay, you can ask if there are any scholarships because you have done very well and you want to avail of that facility here. Is it a correspondence course? Is it a regular course? If it is a regular course, what about the hostel facilities? If it is not in your city, you can ask for transportation facilities if it is in your city. Okay, right? Then yes, you will definitely ask for a brochure, which will give you more information. You will ask about the fees that you have to pay. Okay, so all these here you will ask in questions, but you will put them in a paragraph. We will not make these bullets, and ask you questions like this, right? So please make sure that when it is your queries also, all of them have to be separate paragraphs. Okay, so first is introduction, second is your content, third is about the payment and asking for relevant material related to it. So whether it is your brochure or whether it is your quotations that you want. Okay, right? Is it clear? Yes? Is it clear or not? Okay, fine. Done? Note it down, please. Yes. Now, some of you are asking for the revision of the poem Dust of Snow. So let us revise that also. Yeah. Okay, I'm doing that. Right? So we'll just do the revision of this poem. Which poem is it? Dust of Snow. Who is the poet? Robert Frost. What does he talk about here in this? Is it a personal experience or is it a universal experience? He's talking about a personal experience which can have a wider significance. Yes, so it can happen not only with him, but it can happen with many people. But he is talking about a personal experience that brought about a change in his day and in his outlook towards that day and towards things in particular. Now, what is the predominant element in this poem? Nature is very, very dominating here. What are the things about nature that we see in this poem? What are the things about nature? We see the snow. Read about the snow. Yes, about the crow and the hemlock tree. Now, all these things combined together, what do they do to the poet? How is his mood already at the beginning of the poem? Yeah, let me just discuss with you all. Yes. So what is the poem Dust of Snow about? It is, as I said, it is about the poet. He was in quite an upset mood and, right? Yes, so he was not very happy about the way the day had turned out. Yes, so of course, to add more sadness to his upset mood, the weather was also quite gloomy. There was snow all around, and he went and just stood near a hemlock tree, and the branches of which were covered with snow, right? So what is there so special about the hemlock tree? What is there about the hemlock tree which adds to the sadness or the negativity which is already there surrounding the poet? What is there about the hemlock tree? Yes? Please tell me. The hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. Yes, but it's just not by standing near it you are going to be poisoned, right? So the hemlock tree is negative. Yes, poisonous tree. What about the crow? What about the crow? It is also negative. It is a symbol or omen of death. Yes. And there is snow all around. Yeah. So he is there getting all that negative, with that sadness, all engulfing him. Okay. So he's already in an upset mood and he comes and stands near this hemlock tree, the branches of which are covered with snow. Then what happens? A crow comes. Crow, once again, that negativity, that sadness, right? It is not a sign of hope or positivity. But that crow comes, sits on the branch of the tree, and the way it sat down, what happened was the snow which was there on the branch of the tree, it shook and fell on the poet. And immediately what happened? It was as if his mood changed, right? So he just, like, of course, he stopped thinking about all the problems or, things that were upsetting him. But yeah, he felt a little change in his mood. It was a little better. He felt a little upliftment, a positivity. And he was thankful for this little incident that happened because it saved him from ruining the remaining part of the day, right? So once again, it's not necessarily that what starts off in a bad way is going to end off in a bad way, right? The day started bad for him, but it is not. How does it, like, happen, or how does it matter that how are we going to end the day? Depends on us. So if I keep on looking at things negative, if I keep on worrying myself even more, what is going to happen? I'm going to be more upset. I'm going to be more disappointed. And of course, we have been blessed with this beautiful life. And so we should not waste these days with negativity or with pessimism, right? And with unhappy and sad thoughts. And this is a very, very important message that the poet gives. He said the little things here. Who would have thought? Do we give much importance to the crow? No, we don't. We give more importance to birds, which are even more pleasant looking, and yes, which makes us feel happier just looking at them. And chirping there, the crow doesn't have that pleasant sound only, it makes a very unpleasant cawing sound, right? The hemlock tree, poisonous tree, why would anyone go and stand over there? We stay away from such places and such plants, right? So all this here, but what has the poet told us? That even little things that happen in our life, they can bring about a great change, right? So this little incident that happened, what was it? Of the crow coming, sitting on the branch and the snow falling, it brought about a big change. So nature is there, nature has the ability, nature has the capacity to change our negativity into positivity, right? So this is what the poet talks about. It's a very short, simple, sweet poem, and these are the things that have been discussed. Is this clear? Yes, who all had a doubt? Is this clear or not? Is it clear? Please look at the poem. Any line, any word which is not clear to you, let me know. Is it clear or not? Yes? Anyone, any other doubts? Any other doubt, from the chapters that we have discussed? Anything not clear? So do you remember the syllabus? Yes. So what is it here? The first chapter, Letter to God. Is it clear? So what is it about Lencho? Yes, this story, it's about Lencho. Lencho was a farmer. How he lost all his crops, his harvest, before it was ripened, right? The hail came, destroyed everything. He did not lose hope because, yes, in their, you can say in their country or in the community, that, yeah, wait, let me just find my book. I'll just discuss the poetic devices first. Prashant, where were you all these days? Yes. So Lencho, right? Yeah. So he is wondering that how am I going to get out of these terrible circumstances which nature has put him in. He does not lose hope. And of course, here that they think that God, if he has put us in such a situation, only God will help us out. So he writes a letter to God telling him about his condition, and he says he does not even have money for sleep, right? So he writes a letter, the postmaster reads it, and the postmaster decides to help him because he's greatly impressed by the innocence of this man. And they all get together, they collect money. He wanted 100, but they got 70. And when the postmaster gives the money, or when Lencho gets the money, he thinks God has sent him. But then he thinks that God can never take away anything from people, and God must have sent 100 only. So where did the other 30 go? Where did they go? To the post office. People must have taken them. And see, in like, of course, he's not aware. He's not aware. The postmaster is aware. But the irony of the situation is that Lencho calls these people a bunch of crooks. Yes. Second chapter is about Nelson Mandela. We've read about his struggle, how he worked hard to overcome the practice of apartheid, and how he and his people, the leaders, the warriors, the heroes before him, how they had to suffer a lot. They gave up their lives, they sacrificed their families so that they could work for their country. And so, as Nelson Mandela, on this very historic day, as he's sworn in as the president, he remembers all the sacrifices that were made, right? And of course, he's unhappy that this moment could not be shared by all those great leaders who were there with him or who were there before him, right? It tells us about the true value of freedom and the true meaning of freedom, that you cannot divide freedom. You can't divide freedom, that this is how free you are going to be. This is how free you are, either free or you're not. Even if 1% of that freedom is taken away from you, you are not free. That is why he says freedom is indivisible. You cannot divide it. These people are more free than the others. Who decides that? Who are we to decide? Right? And of course, it was very correct of all of them to raise their voice, to gather courage here, because it was an inhuman practice, dividing people on the basis of the color, of the race that they belong to. And so he gives a great tribute for all the leaders, to all the people here. And yes, he thanks the international community for being a part of this historic occasion. Yeah. Then we have two stories about flying. One is about how the young seagull learns to fly and he's feeling so nervous, does not want to fly, is afraid that his little wings might not help him. And the second story is about the mysterious aeroplane which helps the pilot out of the difficult circumstances. 3 poems: Dust of Snow, Fire and Ice, Tiger in the Snow. Okay, yes. And from the next book, it is about Tricky and the Triumph of Surgery. Yeah, and let us open to this book here. And yes, some of you said that, ma'am, please discuss the poetic devices. I don't know how many times we have discussed the poetic devices. Where is this poem now? Page number 14, open it, please. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had. Yes, what are the poetic devices over here? What are the poetic devices over here? Is it a simile? Simile, comparison, is there? Is it a metaphor? Can you pick out any alliteration over here? Yes, saved some part here. The second stanza, third line, alliteration. Yes, saved some part of a day I had root. Right. Then, yes, what are the symbols used over here? Mainly here it is in this poem, the symbols. The symbols are the crow and the hemlock tree. They are the symbols, sign. They are talking about things which we consider as negative. So it is not only the crow and hemlock tree here, but they could symbolize other negative things that we come across in our lives. So we have classified them as negative. What is the message that the poet wants to give us? What is the It is that nothing is negative and nothing is positive. Everything that has been created by nature is beautiful. And nature has the ability, nature has the capacity to change our sadness into happiness. So this is the beauty of nature. This is the power of nature. So simple incident here, which changed his thinking. Yes, so small movements here, and nature is there, brings about a big change in our attitude. And yes, we should not, like decide here just because something has had an unpleasant start. We should not put it off as yes, it's over and finished, and what I will not be able to do this, such things, right? So we should not. And yes, so he's thinking that because of this little incident, his mood was uplifted. There was a change in his mood. He started feeling better, and he would put in more efforts for the remaining parts of the day. So he would not lose one precious day of his life. So each day of our life is important. So we should not waste it just because, yes, something upset you in the morning or you came across here. Does this poem in any way talk about superstitions also? We have superstitions, Yes or no? Yeah. So we do have these superstitions.